And we are live. Welcome to Thoughts on Season 7, 2.5 Men show. And we're gonna dive right into the completely unrelated Botanic celebrated Christmas just right. 3 videos, and in order of my most favorite first, a family Christmas letter to our wonderful friends and Bob, a solemn Christmas song about breaking up with Santa, and a hymn with an alligator. And Renegade Cut just put up, well, just yesterday, I guess, whatever, the DCEU Film and Culture Analysis Part 2 of 4. It's excellent like Part 1. I eagerly await Parts 3 and 4. And I really appreciate that he is putting them out so close to, I was worried that I was going to have to wait for a long time. Trump tweeted that he's all alone in the White House. Poor me. The first draft of that tweet actually went on to explain, I am so lonely, so lonely, so lonely and sadly alone. I mean, really, poor guy. Recently, 2 of his young kids died. No, wait. Those were immigrant children, so he doesn't think they deserve sympathy. In his mind, he himself does deserve it, despite his incompetence killing children and otherwise ruining lives. And on the subject of Trump telling a 7-year-old girl who called to be told where Santa is, you still believe in Santa, what I would say to Trump in response is, I wouldn't believe a single word you said, even if what you said was that the sky was blue and I could see with my own eyes that the sky was blue. Right now, a lot of Young Turks videos start with a short trailer for Vice, the movie about Dick Cheney. When he shoots someone in the face, someone else goes, "Geez, Dick." No, it's actually Shays Dish. It's just spelled cheese dick. And yeah, I don't think I'm the first to say this. Not that I think I'm the first to say any of this. About the Kevin Spacey is Frank Underwood video just released. The allegations sound credible, and I'm not going to call him guilty unless and before he's found guilty. But almost every word in the video sounds like he's talking to the people he's accused of molesting. I know what you want. What we had is too strong, too powerful. After all after everything we've shared, you and I showed you exactly what people are capable of. You trusted me even though you knew you shouldn't. So we're not done no matter what anyone says. I know what you want me back. Young Turks pointed out, he must have locked his publicist in a basement or something. Or dude would never have let him say that. Anyway, so to the stuff actually related to the content of the video. We see more of Chelsea and Charlie's relationship and see it somewhat fall apart and them trying to fix things. I've said it before, but I really, really appreciate all these, what's it called? Excuse me. The continuity, that's... I would already say that basically every season is better than the one before it, which really, with a TV show, that almost should be a given, but with a lot, it's not. And I forgot to start the recording. Hold on, I might be able to help with that. Let's see. I appear to have started recording around 11:54, which was 5 minutes ago, so I will make a note of that. 4 or 5 minutes. So, and this part really should have been at the top, I suppose, but it wasn't. This video contains spoilers, including for earlier entries in this franchise. The video is long, but there are time codes for different sections in the description box. And since I've done other videos on the show, there are links in the description box, and I'll try not to restate what I say in the other videos. And since I got this on sale, anything negative I say in this is not out of bitterness from having spent too much money. Now, yes, that brings us to the first episode 818 Jiggle Puso. And there we go. Yeah, that'll do. Now, Alan keeps trying to interject Chelsea into the conversation, and Charlie still remembers Mia's number. And Charlie pours hot coffee into Alan's lap. He was just waiting for Mia to leave so she didn't see. And Alan doesn't seem to be writing the screenplay anymore. He was in the episode leading up to this one, but I guess they figured it was good for a single episode as a running gag, but yeah. Probably a good idea. You drop one kid, you get a reputation as a kid dropper. And Jake says his sister looks like Alan. And Charlie doesn't remember Chelsea's number. And Jake heard, "You're my daughter, I'm your daughter, this whole court is out of order." That's a pretty good Pacino impression. I honestly expected Chelsea to like bang into something in the bathroom when Charlie brought up Mia, like a kind of reverse the last episode, but yeah, I mean, I guess she really is just that comfortable with the whole, yeah. And, right, I wanted to say, I believe I had watched this entire season before this, before watching it just recently for the, before watching the season over the last 3 weeks, ending today. One second. Thought. Train got derailed. Train of thought. Yes, I believe I had watched this season before the, watching it these last 3 weeks leading up to, including today. However, I'm not sure if I've watched any of the next season, which would for sure be the last season I watched, because I haven't watched past Charlie Sheen episodes, but I'm not sure. Like, some of it sounds kind of familiar when I skimmed the episode, synopses before doing this video, and I don't know, but I think I watched, the finale of this season did seem familiar, at least. Yeah. So I can't say for sure how far I've watched, but yeah, pretty soon getting into uncharted territory for me. So now, and Chelsea does want Charlie to help me out. And Charlie talking about helping Mia for Chelsea. Good or bad? Probably bad. I'm gonna go with bad. Alan's penis is called Snuffleupagus, and his testicles are called Bert and Ernie. Why did you tickle her mom's Elmo? I never touched Elmo. I know there was something in between that, yeah. You're gonna kick me out when mom dies? You plan on staying here until mom dies? He is such a terrible singer. I always feel bad for actors who have to do that. That's a pretty mouth, but it's not made for singing. What's it made for? Eating. Oh. I thought you meant oral sex. I do have to admit, I quite liked the jokes about Mia not realizing how bad she is at singing. Like, she comes out, can we play back? Well, okay, and play back, and she's listening. Wow, I had no idea how good I was. and there's like, And she's like, oh, to Charlie, you really helped me with the, with the instrumentation or something. And he's like, nope, that was all you. Nothing I did, nothing about your performance can be blamed on me. Something like that. And then she goes on to say, I kind of nailed it, didn't I? I don't see it getting any better. Oh, yeah, here we go. What is there to credit? God gave you that voice. I had nothing to do with it. And Charlie feels so guilty when she comes home. I trust you. And she goes, okay, Leah, you are really starting to piss me off. And he goes to the therapist. You do realize which end of the body I specialize in. I know, I'm not here for an enema. Good, because that couch isn't Scotch Garden. Oh, you remember me. I'm not sitting here sketching ponies, Charlie. And Charlie still can't see these things are connected. And the therapist about Charlie choosing between Chelsea or Mia before he can go to the bathroom. As soon as you pick one, you can go to. What happens if I can't pick one? I don't know, C-section? That makes a certain amount of sense. You think with your penis in your head, so up your ass. And Charlie thinks he may have to sleep with Mia. I know, it's hard to believe I'm not banging her. Then why are we here? She's an old friend. I'm helping her out. You really want to help her out? Sneak up on her with a big rock. Detox? No, I'm constipated. Because you're detoxing? Oh yeah, I had no idea I was so good. And she kisses Charlie. We could put car horns and barking dogs over it. It won't help. And Charlie turns her microphone down so we can't hear her probably cursing at him. And finally Charlie can go to the bathroom. And now the recorder tries to get with Mia. Nice of him not to clock walk Charlie. And, Berta talking about what was in the supposed suppository. Half a tab of Alka-Seltzer crushed in a gel cap. And Charlie still believes Melissa isn't living with them in Jacobs. And he calls me stupid. Mia was really humiliated in this episode, but then again, last time, her dad beat him up, and she has put him through a lot of crap, trying to force him to go vegan, and yeah. And another great season opener. We're 7 for 7 here. I still don't know whether to be excited or worried about going past what I have watched of the show, but yeah. Whipped unto the third generation. There we go. Danny is back, and yet again dressed exactly like Alan. I wasn't entirely sure he would be, but I'm really happy he is. No, you've got a little thing for her. I've got a cocaine mallet in my pants. I told you to leave that doll in your room. Come on, he's got to feed a broth sometime. Charlie, you missed Easter last year. And that wasn't the time he woke up with an egg up his head. Sadly, no. And Melissa thinks that Alan pays rent. He moved her in right under my nose. I cannot believe they didn't make a joke about how short she is. Again, I'm allowed to say that I'm short myself. That's the Charlie Harper you fell in love with? Well, joke's on you. That nice guy thing was an act just to get you to have sex with me. Ha ha. And Melissa has to talk Alan into talking to Charlie now. We probably have different definitions of fair and share and rent, but go on. And Chelsea peers in from the kitchen and Charlie becomes nicer. So Melissa can move in. And Alan and Melissa recorded a new answering machine message, and Alan mocks Charlie. Charlie, it's your mother. Remember me, the woman who carried you in her womb for roughly 7.5 months? I have long since given up expecting any kind of consideration from you, but... And then it beeps this, and she used up all the time. And Alan talking about the article. I never really bought the concept. I mean, who would live with someone who drove them crazy for so many years? And everyone looks at him. It would be different if they were related. What's that guy drinking? Is that my grape soda? It was on our shelf. And no one leaves when Charlie tells them to, not even when he counts to 3. Oh, so now they're just Melissa's friends. And Alan tries to assert himself as, on the level of Charlie when Charlie's not there. And they just look at him and he goes, that's okay, isn't it? Charlie repeatedly slammed the door on Danny. I didn't have anywhere else to go. Well, I've got news for you. You still don't. And you show up here with your ugly dummy. Did you hear that? He called you ugly. Alan actually thinks that Charlie's going to let him in when he comes back with the ice. Yeah, like I don't have ice. Thanks for letting me back in. You were crying in the hallway, the other guests complained. And Alan talking about the boat trip as children with their mother. It took us 3 days to figure out Mom was on another boat. She's such a terrible mother. And Charlie thinks they need to drive a wedge between Chelsea and Melissa. I'm in bed in a hotel room with my brother, and you want to know why I don't want to watch porn? Mind if I watch? Charlie threw Danny out the window, and somehow kept himself from throwing Alan out too. Go power, my bitches. Good plan, my bitches. Botox. Oh, come on, let them make my breakfast first. And Evelyn is like, it's very, it's mighty big of you. I couldn't live in the same house as someone who had slept with my fiance before I did. And, they stopped moving, and Bert's like, it ain't me, start cooking. And Chelsea and Melissa argue. I believe the balance of power is restored. Of course Evelyn was sent by them. You owe me large. And Danny's head looks like he was beaten up. And now Celeste is increasing her influence over the household. Kings of the castle, my ass, were whipped into the 3rd generation. And... fish, yum. Excuse me. There we go. And... excuse me, there we go. Jake actually thought that the problem with talking about being good at driving from playing Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 was saying crack whores instead of crack prostitutes. Wait, who talks about playing the first 2 Grand Theft Auto games in 2009? And Grand Theft Auto 4, that one's from 2008, and before San Andreas and stories, but yeah. The first 2 games... I played the first Grand Theft Auto game, but that was like 1997 or something, when it wasn't ancient. Still a good game, not saying that. But. And Alan's talking about Judith's mom not being a good babysitter. Someone who has a sandwich named her after her at the Betty Ford Clinic. And Herb can't drive either. And, you know, Jake's response to Charlie fell, "Can I drive you to the hospital?" "He knows you resent him living here." "Thank you, Chelsea, but I can defend myself." And, you know, Chelsea's leaning forward and Jake comes on. "Is that a car? Can I drive?" "Uncle Charlie, do you need to go anywhere?" "Yeah, away from you. Can I drive you?" "Still popping the pain pills?" "No." "Good. See if she has any leftovers." Excuse me. If I sit awkwardly in this video, it's because my back hurts. Because I may only be in my early 30s, but my body has decided to get get an early start on falling apart. You couldn't be more of a sucker if you were on the end of a stick. That was one time, and I begged you to stop at a gas station. Lenore has screwed up so many things already. She kept messing up turning off the alarm, put the numbers into the phone, then the thermostat. And Alan accidentally said Papa, referring to himself about the baby, and then started saying Papa was a rolling stone. Babies love me, so do animals. It's only English-speaking adults that don't like me. Alan, you know that's not true. Jake can't stand you either. And Lenore still sides with Alan in the divorce. I approve of the recasting. I don't think that the other actress, Christine Rose, would have been able to do this take on the character as well as this actor does. It wasn't so much let me go as drop me from an airplane with an emerald necklace. And, you know, Lenore about why Alan thinks she shouldn't be trying I've been to Betty Ford. Because you got kicked out of Betty Ford. Hey, Brittany bit me first. Lenore drunk is hilarious. And Lenore has been married for 39 years, even though Judith's 40. Waking up to the same stupid face 39 years in a row. I'll tell you what I told Judith. If you don't like it, roll over. It's still such a sore spot. And, you know, oh, my husband hasn't touched me in years. In his defense, he did have that stroke. I guess that checks out. I'm not sure he's particularly been mentioned since Merry Thanksgiving, which was, you know, season 2, I think. You know, she has been mentioned since then. Alan put his hand on Lenore's shoulder and she starts caressing it. She's so lovelorn. Stroke is starting to look pretty good. Charlie, in Jake's defense, Alan, did let him drive in an empty parking lot. Charlie ran over Sir Lancelot. Told you you should have let me drive. Looks more like a pancake. Cat cake. So squished a lot. And Jake extorts Charlie into letting him drive. And Alan was trying to sing Lenore to sleep, not the baby. Come on, stroke. And Herb looks like Hugh Hefner. This is at least the second time, and I welcome more of it. And Alan has to hide that he's already at Judith's house. That's the TV. I'm watching the Baby Channel. Documentary about obese babies. Tragic. I love Jake talking about where Sir Lancelot might be. And, you know, you're a good liar. I'm 15. My life depends on it. And Lenore yells at another car. And Lenore is so sad that she's being taken to Ehab Ray. And she runs in front of Charlie's car. It looks pretty green screen, but it's a really funny joke. And Jake actually did get to drive, at least a little bit. And we finally see Sir Lancelot. So Charlie ran over a different cat. Then what did we squash? I hope of ever getting behind the wheel of my car again. Leverage is a fickle bitch, my friend. And it's that guy's cat. Looks like the fickle bitch is back. Combining the term fickle bitch with the Elton John song. Nicely done. Laxative tester, horse inseminator. There we go. Charlie wants to order stupid stuff off cable TV. Can I offer you some fruit and cheese? You can, but I won't eat it. And, Melissa asks Alan, does it bother you that I had sex with, Charlie? Well, yeah, it does a bit, but beggars can't be choosers. And I love you. And, the police arrive. This is not what it looks like. I was just chasing this girl who jumped out of my car. Oh. And we're back to smoke on the water. Calicorn, that's a snack. Nachos, that's a proper use of cheese. Jake, there is no such thing as an improper use of cheese. And Alan wants to call Jake an underachiever too. No, you're supposed to get your own freaking place. Just because you keep saying it doesn't mean it's gonna happen. And Alan became Evelyn's assistant. Mom's gonna let me help sell houses and let me have a piece of the action. No, I said having an assistant would give me some peace so I could have a little action. Wow. Now let's go. Alan's gonna milk this for all it's worth. And Alan considers living in a kibbutz. I already talked to him and he promised to stay out of her underwear drawer. What? Not that he ever went into it, just a precaution. And Alan's using the home for sex with Melissa and claims to be renting it. Well, yes, I'm renting with an option to flip. Alan doesn't want to use the bed or the couch, but a beach towel on the floor. So I guess you owe me an apology. I want to have sex with you in every room of this house. I don't see why not, as long as you bring the towel. Of course, we have to wait about an hour, given my erectile medication, the chance to overcome my antidepressants. And she spilled wine on the floor rug. Don't rub! Blot! 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 And then he spilled. That's your oopsie. Jake and Melissa decided that Charlie is the problem between them. I mean, he is quick to insult the one that isn't in the room to the other's face. But he didn't expect them to compare notes. And Alan and Melissa run out of the house in their underwear, and then the police shows up. And she's gone, McCready. Okay, first of all, let me explain the erection. So Mom fired you. Yeah, let's say that, and let's also say I dumped Melissa, and she never wants to see me again for the rest of her life. Poor Alan. For the sake of the child. Yeah, again, this video is going by really fast. Maybe it won't last. But once again, I'm not rushing through the episodes. And Jake is still driving. I mean, excuse me, I'm pretty sure, he's like 15 at this point. I don't know, I guess, depending on the months, maybe. Anyway. And, Alan has to, put both hands on the wheel. 10 and 12. 10 and 2, 12. I like that he can add 10 and 2. Yeah, and he did it instead. And Charlie's out of town because Chelsea's out of town because the actor's not in the episode. There are like 3 other episodes in this season that she's not in, and those they don't even try to explain. I guess they got tired of explaining it or something. I love how terrified they are of Jake driving and how careless Jake is. So he had a bad hip. No, he had a bad tooth, but he went to the wrong doctor. Then don't ask dumbass questions. He didn't ask me anything. Okay, I've had it with you two. If you don't quiet down, I'm going to turn this car around. Nobody goes to the movies. Man, I've always wanted to say that. And, like, you know, Alan needs to go to the bathroom or something, and Charlie goes, "You should have peed at the corner like I did." Wow. And Charlie's eyes are so bad, he thinks the projection of the movie's out of focus. And Jake is so uncomfortable with both of them. And it's, yeah, somewhere around here where, you know, they're like, you know, Jake wants to move away from them, and you know, in the movie theater, and they're like, "Come on, this is a family activity." Yeah, but I like this family better. And you know, Charlie, about why the two girls must be ones he, you know, that he knows them from school. He only has two outside interests, and I don't think he met her at a taco truck or a public toilet. What do you want, Jake? Quick, painless death. And Charlie's passed out drunk in the back seat. See you next weekend, maybe. What does that mean? I'll call you. And Alan and Charlie argue over which of them embarrassed Jake. And they're going through the alphabet, calling each other names. And Alan calls Charlie a necrophiliac. She was drunk, not dead, I challenge. I never got my pee. All you do is pee. And Jake doesn't want to go to Charlie's place anymore because of Alan. Charlie and I don't bicker. I mean, no more than any other couple of guys. They really do bicker like an old married couple. More in this episode than some others, but in general. He farts at the dinner table. How much more comfortable do you want him? And Charlie has trouble thinking of 3 things he likes about Alan. And yeah, naming 2 things he likes about Alan. You love your kid, which can't be easy. And you disinfect your hands after you masturbate. And Charlie keeps mentioning things about Alan he would change. All of them are insults. And he keeps including your address. Where's the kid? You can thank Charlie for that. Thank you, Charlie. And again, they're arguing like an old married couple, and Berta goes, "Stop it, can't you see you're tearing this family apart?" I thought of another thing I'd change about you. Your inability to accept my hatred. And your address. And Charlie's actually about to leave when Judith says Jake doesn't want to go. I'm serious, we don't need him. I can pick my nose and wipe it on your car seat. And Charlie asks Judith how to make Alan accept that Charlie hates him. And Alan and Charlie start arguing in front of Jake. You're really making his point. You know what? Bite me. I can't believe you actually bit me. I really love it. They don't really do a lot on the show, but I do love when they do smash cut jokes that just, you know, someone will say something and smash cut and it actually, the thing they were joking about actually happened or something. And, you know, Judith wants Jake to go with, so she, you know, yelling from off screen to Jake, I don't care. Weekends are the only peace I get around here. They're both losers. Deal with it. Now get your ass up and go with your father. Of course she can get him to leave. And Jake drives away from Alan and Charlie, giving them the finger. Both hands on the wheel, 10 and 2. And Charlie thinks they did well on the section on disagreeing in a loving way. And Alan goes, I disagree, but in a loving way. And, Alan about what they have in common. We both feel unworthy of love and battle homosexual panic. Maybe that's just me. And yeah, that's about right. Give me your thumb. And Alan pours chocolate chips or whatever they're called as Jake's lunch. Breakfast of Champions, Type 2 Diabetes Edition. And Alan about the family discount for his work. You'll actually be the first one to use it. Or in layman's terms, reinforce the door that holds up the knockers. You're staring at them, Alan. It's okay, I'm almost a doctor. And Charlie wakes up with a start when Alan suggests breast reduction for Chelsea, even though it's in another room and he just wakes up, something's terribly wrong. And Charlie closes the laptop onto Alan's fingers. What are you doing sticking your nose in my fiance's breasts? Charlie, please, I make a living off my hands. Really? Somebody's paying you to masturbate? And Charlie kicks Alan out yet again. Here, that's enough for 2 nights in a nice hotel or 2 months in an airport locker. And Alan does end up taking all of Charlie's offered money. Fine, I want them bigger, you want them smaller. We'll compromise and just leave them the way they are. I will never tire of Evelyn's door camera. Oh, Alan, to what do I owe this unannounced and inconvenient pleasure? Please tell me there's a severed head in the bag. You want me to hide it. You have truly given on to both of my hands, which brings me to my request. Looks like somebody missed their period again. Believe me, if I had money for a hotel, I'd be there right now. Wow. You're an eternal optimist, aren't you, Alan? Oh, that just breaks my heart. And, Charlie's talking about who Chelsea's breasts belong to. Hey, if we were to dust them for prints right now, who'd be suspect number 1? And Charlie tests up motorboating Chelsea's new breast via the test implants. And Evelyn's faking an official document. There are no termites. The mold killed them. And Alan wants Evelyn to pay for all of new clothes for him. And Berta and Charlie bet on how long it would take Jake to notice. And Berta told Jake so that they could share the money. I thought for sure you would stay oblivious until Monday. Obliviously, you were wrong. And Evelyn is overly mothering Alan, talking about how he's her fella, meant to be. And she wants Alan to clean her when she's weaker. And then, turns out to be just an act to keep him away. She is really, really good at manipulating with her words. It's the first law of landscaping. If you trim down the tree in the back, if you trim down the tree, the backyard will look bigger, right? And what about your back pain? I'll live with it. I live with you, don't I? Missed opportunity to call him a pain in her ass, similar to that episode of 8 Summer Rules where the grandfather tricks David Spade. Or maybe a sex joke. You decide. I thought that Charlie was intentionally trying to make her feel bad about her ass, but then apparently not. And now Alan can live there again since she didn't have the reduction. And, if it gets brought up again, well, the matter was settled. And there we go. Untainted by Filth. Hear that? She doesn't mind, so shut up. Evelyn made Jake her chauffeur. The Bel Air Hotel in June. Charlie so does not want to set a date for the wedding. Poor Chelsea, she clearly wants this wedding date in place. I never watched that Bride Wars movie, but was that the date and place they were fighting over? That's not the point. Charlie's marriage is just as likely to fail as mine. And Judith's was. Thanks again, bro. Let's see you get out of this one, Houdini. Can't think of any good reason why not. And believe me, I'm trying. The end of an era. Well, you had a good run. But now it's over. Forever. I'm not done poking at you yet. Shouldn't you ask the old ball and chain first? If by carefree you mean broken lonely, everybody would have figured. Your dad watches a lot of golf too. And before Jake will agree to be the ring bearer, Chelsea has to offer up her niece, who is one of the bridesmaids. Of all the women my uncle has been with, you're my favorite. And there's been a lot. A whole lot. Like, I'm betting around 1,000. And that's just since I've been old enough to pay attention. When I first got here, he told me that they were coming over to water the plants. And I believed him. What did I know? Naive too. We didn't even have any plants. And there were some crazy ones too. Your niece doesn't have a license to carry a concealed weapon, does she? Good. You should have seen where this one girl hid hers. Are we talking machete or? She thought it was a trailer, not a private jet. And Alan wakes up in bed with her, but so does Charlie. Of course Charlie would end up in bed with another woman before the wedding. And Charlie and Alan look up at the bed as if there's a sleeping wild animal in it. And Alan wants to try to figure out how he got in bed with her so he can repeat. And they swapped underwear. You're right, it could be awkward. Alan's desperately trying to figure out an innocent explanation for what happened. Great flashbacks. Keep them. Gee, thanks. And Alan just keeps rambling on, keeping Charlie from going up to his bedroom. Alan, stop talking. And Charlie knocked over something and woke Chelsea up. Excuse me. Changes out of the underpants and throws them out the window. You're my centerpiece. The piece that supersedes all other pieces. Are you still drunk? Only with love. A drunken escapade. Is there another kind of escapade? Confession may be good for the soul, but it's a hot lead enema for marriage. That guy was the third best thing that ever happened to me. Behind me and Alan? Sure. The horrible images stuck in Charlie's head aren't what he did, but what Evelyn told him. And now Chelsea can't forget them either and imagines all of them leaving the hotel room. And Gorp, Fnark, Schmegle. which is why your Uncle Charlie's a perpetual urine machine. Also keep in mind that your father has the bladder control of a frightened 9-year-old girl. And Charlie isn't paying attention to Chelsea. I'm really glad they made that a thing for this whole episode. Really, the only character in it who didn't have an inner monologue at any point was Chelsea. Charlie assumes it's his fault that Gale is crying. Charlie has no idea what he just said absolutely to. Who's Rufus? For that matter, who's Brian? Life of Brian, that was pretty funny. Brian's song, not so much. James Caan was great in it, though. That's because he's a great actor. Godfather, Rollerball. Yeah, I can see these two kissing in the dorm room. Without realizing, Charlie just insisted that Gale move in. Alan was using Charlie's razor without telling him to trim the... Yeah. Wow. You obviously didn't put very much thought into this one. Oh, I forgot. Pack your crap and get out. Okay, the razor can be my Christmas present. I feel bad about kicking your brother out of this room. That's because you don't know him. True, by the end of the episode, I'm not sure she minds. And Charlie can't stop thinking about Chelsea and Gale making out. And Alan can't pay attention either. And some of his inner monologue is just nonsense words because he's so attracted to her. And he already wants to marry her and hums the wedding march. And Charlie hums funky 70s porn music. And Gale and Chelsea are both in their 90s and sitting close to each other. Of course it's a dream. You really think I'm going to let you sleep with my best friend? And Jake brought Gale fresh towels. Cahoots. That's a funny word. Sounds like an owl sneezing. Cahoots. What are you going to do today? Play some tennis in 1958? And Alan had a sex dream about Gale too, but without Chelsea. How creepy would that be? And Jake's monologue is just, oh, boobies. And Berta has an inner monologue about how attractive Gale is. Too bad I usually go for the fellas. Then again, I could just draw a mustache on her. This can't be a dream. She's still got her clothes on. And she's talking. Crap, crap, crap. And Berta hands Charlie the liquor. And Berta can't stop thinking about Gale either. You've got the perfect tool for the job. The one tool that's guaranteed to get any woman to leave your house. Oh look, it's an Allen wrench. And Charlie talks Alan into trying to get with Gale, and and we hear her inner monologue about being Val. Oh dear God, no. And then Chelsea's yelling at Alan about, about Gale. And again, he can't pay attention. What is it about an angry woman that I find so attractive? Even when that fat cashier at the supermarket was yelling, I got a little engorged. Speaking of fireballs, next time I should probably skip the aftershave. Yeah, after this, Gale is definitely not coming to live with Charlie anytime soon. And it's not so bad that Chelsea would demand Alan move out, so very nicely done. There we go, almost dropped it. Captain Terry's spray-on hair? When it's great for you, you try to say God, but you say Ga. Oh, but there was no Ga. No Ga, no good. First our sex life goes to hell, then we start eating dinner at 4:30 and watching reruns of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. And at 9, we shake hands, pee, and go to bed. Then at midnight I pee again. He fell asleep through her, trying to soothe his bruised ego. I thought you were taking your girlfriend out to dinner tonight. I am, but if I eat first I won't pig out and make her sick. Good thinking. That way you have the rest of the night to make her sick. Exactly. Plus I won't snap if she reaches for one of my fries. To be fair, I mean, I think a lot of women just don't realize. We bought those for, if you want fries, we'll buy them for you. But if you say that you don't want fries and you start taking from us, it's like, we want all of that food. Just, it's not, we don't mind sharing with you, but we'll buy you your own fries. We will buy you your own fries. Then you can eat what little so that you're not like pigging out on it. And then we can eat the rest of those fries. That would be fine. Don't worry, it's not great. Wow. If you can score just once before I die, then my life won't have been wasted. Then you might want to start eating healthier. What happens when your date runs her fingers through a specially formulated hair-like substance? It's guaranteed not to smear, drip, or ignite under normal circumstances. Do I have to remind you of the Japanese penis enlargement system? That is not what caused the rupture. Did you make your way around the mountain? Or you were riding 6 white horses? I'll be driving 6 white horses when she... So when you were close, what was I doing? You were downstairs getting a beer. And he fell asleep through her, soothing his ego again. And your bangs are dripping down your face. A little lesson for you, Charlie. There are 2 things you never want to buy on the cheap. Canned hair and condoms. Once my hair started dripping on her chicken masala, the evening was pretty much shot. Probably should have sprung for a Captain hair sealant. Terry's hair sealant, yeah. If the date ended and why you're so late, I've been at the emergency room having my eyes flushed. Apparently, Terry's hair contains small particles of fiberglass. And, Berta's favorite husband is like, I forget exactly what she says, but it sounds like, he's dead. And then he's dead? He better be. Giving good orgasms are one of the only things I bring to this relationship. Can't argue with you there. Alan pretending to be Jewish is really messed up, but they're pretty funny jokes. Who knows more about satisfying women than my brother Alan? Not satisfying women, sorry. That's a very unfair characterization, but not completely inaccurate. And, Cherish like, what keeps you from, slicing the throat with a straight razor or something? Well, that's not an easy question to answer. For one thing, I don't own a straight razor. Wow. This is the first time since I've known you that you suggested we play a game that doesn't involve money or nudity. Did you ever stop to consider this maybe isn't about you? Not really. It's just that I once had an orgasm with a lawn dart in my foot. Having sex over the hedge where the kids were throwing lawn darts, that was crazy. And Jake slipped out behind Charlie. You do realize that Jake just slipped out the front door behind us, right? Well, he's grounded. How else is he going to leave? Was that a real guy or a mercy guy? And now she falls asleep while he talks feelings. That's why they call it ballroom. And I think I'm gonna briefly read out once again, these are all from Wikipedia, the, I don't know, plot synopsis, I guess, of the episode after, yeah. Charlie and Chelsea get into an argument about dancing at the wedding, and the two end up going to dance lessons together, where Charlie finds out Chelsea has been keeping secrets about her finances. She owns multiple properties that she never mentioned before, making her richer than Charlie, which angers Charlie, as she hasn't paid any bills in the house while they've been living together. Eventually she apologizes, and they make up. Alan and Jake watch Alan's old wedding video, and the child's quotation is from Charlie to Alan while dancing, after Alan explains there should be no groin contact. What have I got to be depressed about? You've been divorced twice. You live on your brother's couch, and your own kid's flunking 10th grade. You're flunking 10th grade? When did this happen? Easy, dude. I think you've got bigger problems to worry about. Wow. Of course Charlie will end up taking dance lessons. And now Jake just repeats the ad to Charlie. And Alan starts singing to Charlie. I'll give you some tips. Keep your tip away from me. Charlie goes from playing the song they're supposed to dance to the funeral march. Hey Jake, do you want to play in a foster home? Sorry. Yeah, something in a foster home. Sometimes. Chelsea wants Charlie and Evelyn to stop talking about how awful the other is, and they're both surprised. Why? Just saying hello. How old do kids have to be before it's legal to punch them? Come on, you'd never hurt Jake. That's exactly what I want you to tell Child Services. I love seeing Alan's mustache and dancing at his wedding. Always gotta bring a gun to a knife fight, don't you? Where am I? In the coat room, banging Judith's sister. Oh, right. Wish you had that video. Yeah, Charlie, then maybe she'd be able to remember you. If she's not interested in my money, why is she marrying me? I have no idea. Exactly. We may have to consider the possibility that Chelsea's insane. Does she look sorry? Yes. Sorry she ever met you. Look at Judith go in the wedding video. I never knew she was ever fun. I'm not pretending to read. If I didn't know how to read, I would have told you a long time ago. I wouldn't deceive you. Charlie just cannot let go about her owning apartment buildings. And Chelsea gets in bed with Alan on the couch naked. I love how, like, for a second he does and says nothing, and then he like starts to talk, and of course she jumps out of the bed and covers herself, but just like, I think he starts to say, I would be remiss not to tell you, or something like that. Just wow. You let Chelsea lay down naked on, wait a minute, you came back to apologize to me? And Evelyn made jokes about Alan's bedwetting on the wedding video, including, like, what's it called? Yeah, she's like, and then he got over the bedwetting. At least I hope so, for the honeymoon. Unless you're into that sort of thing or something, yeah. On the wedding tape, giving a speech as the best man, Charlie just cannot stop talking about Judith's sister. And warning, it's dirty. I am not gonna impersonate his voice. That would definitely, I wouldn't mean it to be anti-Semitic, but it would definitely come across as that. With Celeste, Jake's girlfriend, away for Christmas, Charlie tells Jake that it's okay to cheat on her with a girl he meets on the beach, but this backfires when Celeste returns unexpectedly as Jake arrives with the girl, which also lands Charlie in hot water with Chelsea. Meanwhile, Evelyn brings ailing TV personality Marty Pepper, played by Carl Reiner, to Charlie's Christmas gathering because she hopes to handle the sale of his $60 million mansion when he dies. At the dinner table, everyone trash talks Charlie after the cheating incident. The title quotation is from Marty Pepper about how he knows Lucille Ball isn't a natural redhead. Another Christmas special. It involves attempt to cheat on one's girlfriend, jokes about show business, and Evelyn taking care of an old man just so that she can get to sell his house when he dies. I'm not sure it's the best of these, but it's definitely up there. Excuse me, I just need to adjust this thing. And that should do it. I actually did watch this relatively close to Christmas by chance. Which is actually, I mean, not every single season has a Christmas special, so yeah, it's just, like I said, coincidental. I mean, you can figure out. As I said, I watch one episode per day, and today's the 29th, and I watched the very last episode today, so yeah. I don't know, I guess a week and a half off or so. Snow, sleet, rain, sun, you still got no place to go. And Alan keeps speaking in a British accent. I love the text of the Christmas letter. It is filthy. You're sad, pathetic, lonely, and blue. If I gave a rat's ass, I'd worry about you. And Jake's at the edge of the deck, so Charlie goes, expecting rough weather, Captain. Jake, she smiled at you, she waved at you. Clearly her standards aren't that high. Right, thanks. I appreciate all your hard work, and I appreciate you pretending I work hard. And, you know, she bet her Christmas bonus, and then looks like the grandkids are getting beef jerky and lotto scratchers this year. And then he gives it back, and she tries to gamble again. And yeah, and I think she goes like double or nothing. Like, if she loses all of that, she has no way to pay back. So it's one of those things of like someone who can't help but gamble, just not being able to yeah. You got a shot at, well, I don't know what you got a shot at, but you got a shot. Relationships are based on mutual trust and respect. Oh, grow up. Relationships are built on diamond earrings and Viagra. And, you know, Charlie says, I married the first girl who touched his wiener. Not true. The first girl who touched my wiener was Maxine Chernikoff, and she refused to marry me. As did the blind girl at camp, the school nurse, and crazy cousin Wendy. There are stories behind that list of people, and I am certain I don't want to hear them. Pretty girl, you'd think she'd have more self-esteem. What are you doing in here? I had to fart and I didn't want to do it in front of her. Good thinking. And then, I thought it was you. I thought it was you. And yeah, you know, about why Evelyn is there, you know, it's Christmas Eve. I know, why isn't she out stealing toys in Whoville? I mean, it's not the worst thing he's ever called her, but it's still pretty funny. Wow. Alan, it's a $60 million home. My commission will be almost $2 million. How much did you make last year? Welcome to our home, Mr. Pepper. And Alan comes walking in, singing along to Jingle Bell Rock, just like in the, I don't know, music video. Is that what it? I probably wouldn't know, except for it. You know, there's a literal music video of it by, I want to say, it's, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. I'm blanking on it. David something, who also did Total Eclipse of the Heart, Friday, Hooked on a Feeling. It's amazing work. But yeah, you know, in that, the dude's got the you know, Santa hat, elf hat, whatever, on, and he, you know, comes walking in singing to, And they do that with Alan very nicely. And I really love Alan's solo. And Evelyn has to shout Alan several times, like he's Alvin of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alan, Alan, Alan! Really great impersonation, too. 40 years ago, you asked for a little brother for Christmas. Happy? And he comes in and finishes singing, and he and Evelyn give each other a look. Can somebody move me? My chestnuts are roasting on this open fire. That was you? I thought Alan burnt the ham. The ghost of showbiz past. If I can't get laid, nobody gets laid. What is he doing? Is he decking her hall? And Berta isn't going to answer the door, but instead Evelyn does. And Celeste shows up with a present. And, Charlie about where Jay is. He's distributing corn dogs to the homeless tonight. My hat comes off, my Santa hat comes off. Technically, that is what he's doing, and it sounds positively filthy. And, Jake is caught cheating, and Charlie goes, I don't know what to tell you, pal. It happens. And then, Chelsea comes down, but what's going on? Uncle Charlie told me it's okay, tense Christmas dinner. And, Charles is just, love you. Oh, yeah? Who do you love when I'm not around? Jake, would it creep you out if I called Celeste's mom? Are you insane? Think about it. And, the Pepper fakes dying. She thinks she's going to sell my home when I'm gone. But I'm not going. Wait, I actually am going. Merry Christmas, everybody. From an old guy dying so that Evelyn can get richer, to an incontinence joke, to wishing Merry Christmas within maybe half a minute of screen time. I love it. Just, yeah. I love, this show does the tense holiday dinner really, really, the Merry Thanksgiving one was also great. And are those really the only one? And Alan's birthday, yeah, just some with Melissa there. I forget if there's been more than, I don't think there's been more than one, but yeah. And fart jokes, Pie, and Celeste. Now, Jake is still angry with Charlie about the incident with Celeste, and he decides to sing her the love song he's written in an attempt to win her back. Charlie suggests that instead he try apologizing in person, but when that fails, says Jake will soon find another girl, and although he is doubtful, he soon does. Meanwhile, Alan and her begin to bond after going out to eat together, but Judith will not let them spend any more time together. Notes: in the Season 7 DVD gag reel, a deleted scene shown with Alan heading into the house and Jake preparing to go to Celeste's house with his acoustic guitar strapped on, wearing shorts and a t-shirt. The scene ends with Angus T. Jones bursting into laughter. This is Tinash's last appearance on 2.5 Men, and the title quotations from Jake, naming what he loves. Charlie names the first two before Jake names all three. Charlie so doesn't want to have to get up that early. Hey, when the cat's away, the mice masturbate. Boy, I can't turn my back on you, can I? Actually, I have photographic evidence that you can. Let's see, what's the proper wine for the occasion? Oh, who cares? Everything goes with ass biting. And, Alan's threatening suicide, and Charlie's like, hold on, before you do anything crazy, can you help me get this bottle open? Buy a dog. She said I couldn't have a dog in the house. Fine, buy a dog and move. You know what would be great? If you get a dog with its own house. And, and Alan's described how he's gonna swim so far out that he can't yeah, I forget the exact details, but he's going to swim out into the water and drown. And Chelsea's like, do you want to talk about it? No, he's taking a swim. Charlie would literally rather Alan commit suicide than Charlie miss out on sex before Chelsea leaves for apparently even when the cat's here, the mice have to masturbate. And Charlie threatens to light Alan on fire. And Charlie says no to lunch. Not hungry? Don't like you. Neither one of us is having sex with Judith. That's actually too close to home. And Jake shakes up the beer before handing it to Charlie. No, it wasn't puppy love. This was dog love. You haven't had dog love at your age yet. Not sure your father's had dog love yet. Unless you count getting bitch slapped. You don't want to piss off a cop. Not so sexy when it happens to you, is it? And Herb and Alan love all the same corny jokes. It almost seems like they're flirting. And Judith calls Herb and he has to go. And Jake is writing a love song for Celeste and it sucks. The song, good as it is, smacks of desperation. Thank you. Do I really say blah blah blah? And Jake catches Alan and Herb hug. I don't care, I got my own problems. Just to be clear, you didn't really say blah blah blah. That is literally like you think, oh, he's actually, oh my, yeah. So what did she? Yeah, and the yeah, he's gonna, I'll understand if you never want to see me again. So what did she say? I never want to see you again. You can't do this, Judith. You can't keep us apart. Herb and I will find a way to be together. No disrespect, but I don't want to wait until I'm as old and hard up as you until I find a girlfriend. What? I said no disrespect. And Jake knew that Charlie had shook up the soda he got him, so he sprays it on Charlie instead of himself. And Alan and Herb when Herb's at the window sound like two teenagers in love. I'm okay. I'm not okay. And Judith catches them and Alan just runs off. I said no disrespect. Why does that never work? And Alan reminisces on Herb and Herb sneaks off to be with Alan. And yay, no polyps. Charlie schedules a colonoscopy to get out of visiting Chelsea's parents, Tom and Martha, in Illinois, but Chelsea figures out he was lying and flies them into Los Angeles instead. During a night drinking with Chelsea's father, Stacey Keach, Charlie and Alan learn that he is homosexual and in love with an African-American war buddy of his, which is also in contrast with Martha's beliefs since she is an extremist and racist homophobic. Chelsea then overhears her mother and father arguing about the situation. The two then break up, and the title quotations from Alan about the results of Charlie's colonoscopy. I guess she does, yeah, she can easily fly them in. She owns 3 apartment buildings. She has plenty of money. And Charlie keeps agreeing what Charlie suggests. Oh, I have an appointment. A doctor's appointment? Yeah. For a colonoscopy? Yeah. What would you do without me? Pretty sure I wouldn't be getting a colonoscopy next week. You're willing to let the doctors sneak a camera up your keystroke? I'd be willing to let them shoot an IMAX feature, but unfortunately it won't be necessary. I'll tell Chelsea that my colon is clean as whistle. Whistle that you swallow and then blow out your bunghole. Good plan. And Berta just turns around and stares at Charlie. And their wait music is Tunnel of Love. Better than Brown Eyed Girl. What, that I'd rather be violated by a long metal tube than spend time with her parents? Somehow I don't think she'll take that in the sense it was intended. the aloe vera. You put a little blob at the end of your finger. Alan! I want to be stone cold out before anything goes in. Well, I guess a glass of wine, I'm pretty please. And Chelsea's still going to force Charlie to spend time with her parents. Enjoy your colonoscopy, you lying dirtbag. You knew? I knew. I'll give you $1,000 to push me to the parking lot. She probably knew it was a lie from when he first said, I forgot an appointment in bed. That's why she suggested a doctor's appointment and a colonoscopy, and then later insisted on driving him. And Alan, Jake, and Berta were waiting for Charlie when he got back from the colonoscopy. Now you know how it feels. Alan did get a colonoscopy in an earlier season, but that was necessary, and there they mined it differently. So, yeah. Awesome to see Stacy Keach. Always happy to see him and stuff. Isn't it funny how plans work out? Not much of a grip, but I guess you're still weak from your anal probe. He's been treated enough like a girl today. He's been treated like a girl enough today. What can I say? Mommy and Daddy are horrible bigots. But they're my parents. I have to love them, right? I asked the wrong guy. I couldn't take your word before. Well, then you'd be silly to take my word again. What? I'm being honest. And Alan goes with because Tom is buying. Who'd have thought that the best part of my day would be having a colonoscopy? Considering my day, it's more like up the hatch. And Tom is obsessed with the gays, and of course he's actually gay himself. Don't ask, don't tell, that's our philosophy. I met that Edward Boynton. Nice guy. Black guy. Can I be the one to tell your mom? Hey, Chelsea, given everything that's gone down with your dad, I'm off the hook on the whole I lied to you about the colonoscopy thing, right? What? 1 second. That's wrong. There we go. And that's wrong. Crude and Uncalled For. Wow, yeah, this really does appear like it's going to turn out really short, comparatively. Don't know why. Alan ends up in jail after a bar fight, and Charlie worries that Chelsea might be interested in Alan's lawyer. Brad Harlow, Stephen Eckholt, who takes the case because he claims to be a family man and Horse Range charity founder. Brad invites Chelsea and Charlie to his charity event, but Charlie decides not to go, leaving him to wonder if Chelsea is actually cheating on him with Brad. Title quotation comes from Evelyn to Charlie after he makes a remark about the possibility of an upcoming court case. Alan can't tell how bad the date is going. And when you say absolutely no intention, you just mean tonight, right? If she would like another drink, I'm more than capable of providing one. But the dinner still does. Maybe we should ask the lady what she wants. Not necessary. I can tell you what she wants, and it's not me. But there is a principle involved, and that is one of not poaching on another man's gal. And Alan socked Marcus. And the phone rings. Can you grab that? You'll have to be more specific. By the time we get married, that thing's going to be half eaten. That was Alan. He was just calling to see he wouldn't be home tonight. Say he wouldn't be home. Oh, did he get lucky? Not yet, but the night is still young. Technically, he's accurate. It's only a lie of omission. How did I become the bad guy in all this? He's the felon. Ask him about what the date did. She drove the guy I punched to the emergency room. I would have asked her why, but I was busy being handcuffed and dragged off to jail. Spend the night covering my booty with my food tray. Before we waste a lot of money on an expensive lawyer, how much jail time are we talking about if you just roll over? You said you love the potholders I make for you. I said they make me cry. See, he's fine with it. My fuse is long, but it's attached to dynamite. Charlie, we have to pay you for your time. Oh, you hippie. Charlie hands the lawyer the check. He says thank you, and then Alan says you're welcome. Fresh air? Have you ever smelled a horse? But Charlie's so frustrated, Pony. I think this was a wasted opportunity for Chelsea to say Charlie could become frustrated gelding. I'm afraid I'm going to explode. I'm afraid I won't. And Jake doesn't believe Alan. KY jelly is odorless, not where you put it. If Chelsea were your fiancé, you'd have bigger problems, like being the last man on Earth. There's going to be barbecued horses? Cool. And Charlie's been driving 22 miles in the wrong direction. Let's see. And the whole thing, Jake like startles them so they, jump into the filthy water and they have to walk all the way home. And yeah. You think she's Gina? No, I was thinking car trouble, but thanks for that. You hear that, Jake? You have an inheritance. Good build-up to the idea of Chelsea possibly cheating on Charlie. He keeps doing bad things and she keeps saying, you're horrible, whilst everything Brad says and does enamors her to him. The way... First, the thing about ignoring that Alan clearly needed help when he called. And the way Charlie and Evelyn talk about Alan when they talk about the possibility of him going to jail and such. Let's see, and we've got Charlie, the way he talks at the lawyer's place, and the way he talks about the lawyer and his charity and such. Aye, aye, Captain Douche. Now, Charlie becomes worried and jealous after Chelsea is late returning from a charity event with Brad. When Chelsea does return, she and Charlie argue and Chelsea leaves. Charlie drowns his sorrows repeatedly. Chelsea later asks Charlie to meet her for coffee. During this meeting, Charlie throws up on a woman's baby, leaving Chelsea to postpone the wedding. Break up with Charlie. Evelyn comforts Charlie, but adds that most people throw up on their own babies rather than other people's. And the Charlie quotation is from Jake, who is being sarcastic after Charlie tells him to turn down the TV volume. Neither of the phone messages are from Chelsea. And Charlie immediately stops bad-talking Chelsea when she walks in the door. Really? I call it a complete and total betrayal of my testicles. If you'd done it as much as I had, you'd call it taking the high road. Maybe she was chasing a tennis ball. Like a dog, you run after it, even if there's traffic. Goofy dogs. That's so bad. We wouldn't have these problems if I just put a python in your room. Touché, douche. How did you know about the Polaroids? You just told me, dirtbag. Oh, Charlie, you can't compete with a horse. Yeah. Holding onto it like it was a flotation device. Charlie just can't get silence. And Charlie throws the coffee grinder out the window. So, decaf? Whose balls? Secondly, I've seen you hit on a bride while she was walking down the aisle. That was a joke. Everybody laughed. The principal is still sound, coughing up stripper glitter. My stupid brother broke the grinder. And, Charlie's having vodka and orange juice. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, hence the orange juice. Alan fixed the coffee grinder and from Charlie's look throws it on the floor. Charlie got really drunk and is thinking about Chelsea and Brad. And keeps going back and forth on either being angry with her or missing her, and Alan has to try to keep up. Both questions asked and answered. If Charlie's wearing pajama bottoms and how drunk he is. Man, you'll do anything not to kick in a little rent, won't you? She actually thinks that Alan and Charlie had gay incestuous sex. Yeah, I do that. I am a nerve toucher. Kind of runs in the family. Charlie, you're talking about who he wants to help. The old people that fall and can't get up. What about your family? I'll get a new family. You threw up on my baby. Anyway, to be fair, I don't think the carrots were mine. Get away from him, you pig. And Chelsea has left. Wow. And Chelsea called Evelyn and wants to postpone the wedding. Did you really vomit on a baby? Don't beat yourself up too much. We've all done that. Of course, most of us do it on our own babies. Really great job on gradually creating a rift between these two instead of just having Chelsea having cheated. In the episode immediately before this one. Yeah, so I guess almost half the season is dedicated to how Charlie gets by, or rather doesn't, after she leaves. Tinkle like a princess. After Chelsea breaks up with him, Oedipus Charlie takes a trip to Las Vegas and returns home with a new wife, Betsy. Charlie then finds out that his new wife is already married, and her husband says that she has affairs, which he tolerates because he'd rather share her than not have her at all. Charlie then spends some time with Chelsea's father, Tom, and his new boyfriend, Ed. John Amos guest stars as Ed. Katie Mixon guest stars as Betsy, who could be the same character, also played by Mixon, who appears in Untainted by Filth, but neither Charlie nor Alan recognize her. Tell a quotation from Charlie explaining to Alan that he can't go into his bathroom. It reminds him of Chelsea. Yeah, you're right, I hate that thing. I'm taking a swim. You never go in the water. That's because I'm not a good swimmer. Very smart. Now he's sprinting. It reminds me of that joke where one guy A is trying to talk guy B out of jumping, and guy B keeps saying I don't like that thing, and finally it's like a sports team, and then guy A says fine, then jump. Which I know for a fact is older than this episode because I once heard Benny Hill say it, and since he died in 1991, it would require time travel for it to be, yeah. Let's see. And Charlie comes back from suicide and because the water is cold. Just so you know, we were about to come get you. Wow. Berta said that thing that we do at this point know is just a myth about, you have to wait so and so long between eating and going to the water. Yeah, I have all the things you don't. That wasn't really the point I was trying to make. Charlie's been peeing on the flower. I think a good first step is to stop urinating in the potted plants. Unless you're kicking out your husband of 12 years, that seems remarkably easy. It was. You blamed me. It was your fault. And Alan just can't let go of the breakup with Judith. Very sensitive, Jake. And Charlie freaks out Jake's girlfriend. Okay, enjoy yourselves. Death by lap dance. And Charlie enters a church. If you were headed to a strip club, I think you made a wrong turn at Albuquerque. And Charlie thinks God sent the hot girl. Maybe broken riddle with gonorrhea, but he'll find his way home. And Evelyn about Chelsea and Charlie's will. The house, the Mercedes, the bank accounts, the music royalties. Man, I just can't catch a break. Excuse me. This is my mom, Evelyn. She doesn't look like such an antichrist. Don't call me at all. And yeah, here I noted, K. Mixon guest stars as Betty, who could be the same character, also played by Mixon, who appears in Untainted by Filth, but neither Charlie nor Alan recognize her! Exclamation point. I was thinking that as well. She just keeps getting between Charlie and Chelsea without Chelsea knowing. In that episode, that was her. Alan tried to hit on her in a bar, and then Alan wakes up in bed with her, but Charlie also does, and they apparently swapped underwear, so yeah. Actually, he's my son. But out, Dad. And Betsy made a lot of noise last night. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Are you saying God sent you, Betsy? Okay, Dad, we gotta get our asses to church. Good morning, Mom. So I was gonna do a little topless sunbathing on the deck. You're welcome to join me. And Alan slaps Charlie. Okay, you get one of those. Next time that hand comes back a bloody stump. And Ed and Tom are already arguing like an old married couple. Relationships can be hard, even if you've known someone for 40 years. I'm not ready to see other people. He says, despite having already gotten married, and yeah. And Charlie keeps saying, he can't be dating. No, I need to be changed. There's something seriously wrong with me. Please, Chelsea, take me back and turn me into someone else. It wasn't a very good argument, was it? Well, that's the best I got. Anytime I find her wedding ring inside her diaphragm case, I know she's off on one of her little adventures. He's so cool with it. You know what that means? Going back to church? Please don't make me slap you again. And I found your mustache. Chelsea has started dating Brad. Charlie stalks her with the help of Alan, and after having a post-breakup one-night stand, the two are left thinking about if it was right for them to break up. Charlie tries to win her back and takes relationship advice from her father and his boyfriend. Charlie tells Alan he likes having him live in the house, which brings Alan to terms of happiness. Teleportation from Chelsea to Charlie, handing him the fake mustache that Alan loaned him. And Alan's like, you agreed if I paid for tickets, I get to pick the movie. That's because I didn't think you'd actually scrape together $18 without stopping a blood bank. And Alan apparently still carries a nude picture of his ex-wife. I bought those boobs. I have a right to look at them every once in a while. And Charlie quotes the review Alan quoted to him, to Chelsea, to try to impress her, and then immediately blows it by saying, I love that crap. And Alan keeps poking at Charlie. And, Charlie insists they leave the theater. Alright, but I think you should pay me back for the tickets. Well, not now when it's convenient. People grieve in different ways, Alan. Besides, the stripper was already married, so no harm, no foul. Hello, you're a big loser that says hello. Okay, punish yourself. And, Charlie says the only reason to watch that movie is to get laid, and Alan goes, you didn't even give that movie a chance. and Charlie insists Alan go with him to stalk Chelsea. What are you doing with a mustache in a glove compartment? Don't worry, it's fake. Well, that doesn't answer my question. And Alan admits he's stalked his ex as well. Maybe there's a third guy and she's cheating on Brad. Isn't that how you'd play it? And, you have AAA, right? It's like $49 a year. Charlie, I gas up $3 at a time. What if somebody tries to steal the car? Good thinking. Leave the keys, gas money, and a thank you note. Spoken like someone with insurance. Hey, Uncle Charlie, you look like a 70s porn star. I'm guessing. Oh yeah, he's been crying like a little girl. What? I'm on your side. The walls are pretty thin. Every night I'm hearing, up periscope, down periscope, launch the torpedo. And, Chelsea, the mustache. When I'm out with Alan, I don't like people to recognize me. And, Berta comes in and says to Al, oh crap, just a little disappointed. I saw Chelsea's car outside, I didn't see yours. Or was it just making the beast with two backs? Charlie, can we talk? That's never good. That's what Mom said to you. I found your mustache. Where do you think it was? Stuck to my ass. And Alan's trying. Once again, come in the morning, she dropped you like a lead turd. Sorry. And Alan just will not shut up. I've tried to be the strong silent type, but it's just not who I am. Not to mention there's physical manifestations to bottling up your feelings. Constipation, migraines, or it goes the other way, gas, diarrhea. You just cannot predict it. It's kind of an emotional crapshoot. And Charlie tries to smother Alan to blues music. I didn't need you to actually do the math. You don't have to, but it sure would be a nice idea. Trying to kill me with a pillow? And Charlie tries smothering him again. Don't worry, I'll wait for you on the other side. Wow. And Ixnay on the Oggie day. Charlie runs into Chelsea's friend Gail, Trish Helfer, at the pizza shop for Jake's new haircut, which got because of his new girlfriend. He has sex with her, but then learns Chelsea is having problems with Brad. Charlie later meets Chelsea for coffee, tells her that she's with Gail, causing Chelsea to angrily storm off. Then comes around to his house to apologize, but again storms off after it's just thinking, basically realizing Gail is still there in Charlie's bedroom. Meanwhile, Alan finds himself able to pleasure a female patient just by giving her a back massage, but worries he's becoming a sort of gigolo due to the large amount of cash a woman is paying him. The side quotation is from Charlie telling Gail that they should keep the fact that they had sex between themselves. I know he's never going to win any beauty contests, but he is our son. Some days I can't get out of bed. Oh, I know how that is. Do you have back problems? No. Great reactions from the new receptionist. I love that for almost the entire episode she is completely silent. It's all in facial expression, especially the eyes. At the end of the episode she has 3 lines and that's it. It's not quite Jane Lynch as the therapist, but it's really, really good. Spank my lonely ass. I don't do house calls, per se. And Alan ends up handing money to the receptionist and then wants some back. Jake is terrible at context clues. Why'd you change your hair? And she put her tongue in my mouth, and that once made me buy a girl a car. She put her tongue in your mouth? Sure, let's say mouth. And Alan actually poses for the picture Charlie takes of him paying. And now that Alan uses money, Jake's like, are you dying? Win some, lose some, start having liquor delivered to your house, you don't have to put on pants. For the last time, I'm not dying, I'm not sick, everything's fine. Okay, I got it. But you can understand my skepticism, right? I never said it wasn't a bad idea. I said I don't know why I shouldn't do it. Wow. That really is his philosophy, isn't it? Alan feels so guilty and just can't stop rambling, lying and justifying. Wow, guy picks up one $30 check and has a brain aneurysm. And Charlie feigns ignorance about Chelsea being in Mexico. And right after hanging up from having consoled Chelsea on the phone, Charlie greets a naked Gale. Ixnay on the Oggie style day. On the other hand, there's no arguing with the boner. And Charlie uses time zones to justify having sex with Gale after the call. And Alan swigs liquor right from the bottle. Wait a minute. You gave a woman pleasure? I just never thought they could give it to other people. Fine, I'm worse than you. That's all I'm saying. Don't judge me, pretty woman. And I'm just thinking, Charlie would never do this. Charlie hates his mother with a passion. Remember when you thought that was a bad thing? What you did, what I did, doesn't matter. What did you do? Doesn't matter. And then, Gale, you didn't. I didn't say I did, but good guess. Come on, it was 1 o'clock in Cabo. And Chelsea comes to the house, and Charlie's trying to take her out instead of inviting her in. Gale's upstairs, isn't she? Once again, we were separated and I was vulnerable. Just so we're on the same page, are we still together or am I allowed to go upstairs? How much better could she get? Wow. I want an adjustment. Are you having back problems? No. I want an adjustment like you give her. I see she wants what she's having. And then we have body shaming, fat shaming about him not wanting to have that kind of relationship with her. In an earlier episode, I think season 1, Alan mentioned that a patient of his thought that there would be a happy ending as part of the treatment. Later, Charlie turned the clinic into a brothel temporarily, and now Alan agrees to treat sexually. Again, a nice gradual raising of the stakes instead of just immediately jumping to, Keith Moon is vomiting in his grave. Jake's new friend Eldridge, Graham Patrick Martin, proves to be a bad influence when he talks Jake into stealing beer from Charlie, getting drunk and sneaking out when grounded. Charlie catches Jake sneaking out but lets him off the hook after Jake and his friends felicitate Charlie on the current jingle he'd written. Alan plans to have a word with Eldridge's mother, Lindsay, Courtney Thorne-Smith, but ends up falling for her, and the two later make the most of a trip to a bar. Absent Jennifer Taylor as Chelsea. First appearance of Eldridge McElroy, Lindsay McElroy, and title quotations from Charlie comparing Eldridge to other drummers as he vomits in a wicker basket. Keith Moon's drummer from The Who. And you ragging on my name? No, I'm ragging on your instrument. Now beat it. Jake says he's one of the cool kids at school. Why is he hanging with Jake? But he's my son, and I have to love him. It's so funny. Mom says the same thing about you. Really? Mom says she loves me? Wow. Don't ask what he calls my grandma. It rhymes with bitch. No, wait, it is bitch. It rhymes with ditch? No. Snitch? No. Itch? No. Okay, but be warned, drinking makes me stupid. Don't worry, leave the thinking to me. It does rhyme with ditch. What does? And, you know, they stole your beer? They had to. I lock up the hard stuff. The last bright idea he had was to pick up an Eskimo pie with his tongue. Oh, the agony. Rhyme that, Beethoven. And always happy to see Courtney Thorne-Smith. Trouble? He was an angel. Come in. Piece of tail always trumps peace of mind, doesn't it? I'm not the one trying to bang the drummer's mom slowly. I love Alan's going, what? At Charlie's reasoning. He just keeps getting increasingly baffled by what Charlie's saying. Alcohol can make it tough to get a boner. You're kidding. I can't tell you how many times I've said this never happened to me before. And then Jake comes back out and says, you lied. I really appreciate that he didn't say that he can prove it, but yeah, it's implied. And Alan pretends he can do 1,000 stomach crunches. A very Patrick Bateman of him. What are you going to tell Jake? Who? And Jake comes into the room. Yeah, there we go. Jake comes into the room and announces he got a boner, and they both check their watches. Wow. I love the smash cut from them talking about being single parent to banging in the bathroom. Tell me I'm a good mom. You're a good mom. I'm a dirty mom. Oh, you're so dirty. And, you know, Alan accidentally flushes the toilet. Do that again. Okay? Not the toilet. And Charlie plays the theme to the girls Jake is with, and he lets them go because they applaud. The real question is, can I remember a secret? You really need to get into a program. It's not funny anymore. Humor is very subjective. What just happened? I called him Magoo. From the time, I guess I just didn't make as many notes. Yeah. Sometimes the dialogue just goes by so fast. I do only watch these episodes once each. And it's been years since I last watched them. After being interrupted at Lindsay's house by her son Eldridge, Alan tries for an intimate night at a hotel with her, but nothing goes as planned due to the fact that Lindsay suffers a bad period and Alan gets an upset stomach. Meanwhile, Charlie tries to get the girlfriend experience from prostitute Jasmine, Elizabeth Ho, by having her and himself act as a real couple with real problems. The prostitute actually takes a liking to the role. I don't think I quite agree with that reading of it, but okay. Absent Jennifer Taylor as Chelsea. And the child quotation is from Berta, talking about a blind, mentally deteriorating cat she used to own that Alan reminds her of. I feel like I've known you all my life. I'm assuming you mean that as a good thing. You're such a surprise to my life. Again, I'm assuming that's a good thing. And, you know, Eldridge yells, you know, yeah, so like, is it Dave? No. Is it Jimmy? Oh, right. Now, who are Dave and Jimmy? Just tell me you're not having sex with Jake's loser dad. I'm a divorced mother with a 16-year-old son. I can't be picky. I don't want to hear you have sex. Put on your headphones. That's why I bought them for you. Are you sure you're okay? 'Cause your toenail's the only thing poking me right now. And, you know, Charlie defending why he's saying, I miss Chelsea. I miss the 80s. You don't see me snorting blow off a DeLorean. I know he's grounded, but why can't he be grounded at your house? I have a life too. Yes, I do. Since now. And, he thinks she hung up. Well, have a nice day, you miserable bitch. Oh, you're still there. Have a nice day. And the garage door keeps closing after Alan opens it, and finally Charlie knocks on his window. It's like a jump scare to Alan. He just keeps just look around. There must be someone, flipping whether it's opening or closing. And, Alan tells Charlie, you don't actually have to watch Jake. The illusion of adult supervision. What do you mean, a credit card? I'll pay you back, I swear. Please don't make me stay home with a boner. You're gonna make me stay home with a boner? Don't do that, Alan. Don't toy with my heart. And, Alan's like, I'll drop him off at his mother's. Now you're talking. And then he just drives off. I'm sorry. And, Alan says, lost his Virginia on a mini golf course. No kidding. Did you get a hole in one? I lost my virginity at a concert. Sting? A little bit. Plan B, Alan. It goes with my plan J. And all Charlie wants the prostitute to do is read a magazine and be frustrated in watching Sports Center. And there's like a line about imagine... Yeah, something like, imagine I say something that makes you exasperate or something, and she's like, I can do that. And just every so often, look at me and roll your eyes, and then she does roll her eyes. Exactly that, Oh, for God's sake, it's like the horsehead scene in The Godfather. Could be worse. Could be the prom scene from Carrie. I was wondering if they were going to bring up the elevator scene in The Shining, but South Park already did that, so yeah. Alan brought room service, and to hide it from her, he has to throw her purse at her when she asks for it. You stole drugs from your son? It's only fair. He stole my youth. I love the prostitute trying to argue with Charlie. And Alan is sitting by himself, eating oysters, similar to how he described them when he bought edible something or other for his sex life with Judith. He ended up sitting eating it alone. I'm a little foggy from the Vicodin, so if I fall asleep partway, just give me a little tap on the shoulder. He made up for it down below. He had big feet, 3 of them, but only 2 wore shoes. Don't worry, size doesn't matter. In fact, in this situation, the smaller the better. You're welcome. And the evening that Lindsay and Alan share just keeps getting more and more romantic. I'm never free, but I'm available. Is that the line they said that she ends up enjoying it? Some people just really... Anyway. Still cheaper than getting married. And Alan sings Oklahoma again. And... if that is what that song's called, I have no idea. Gumby with a Pokey. Charlie finds himself with insomnia and is given prescription marijuana by his pharmacist Martin Mull to help him sleep. Smoking with Berta, Charlie has disturbing visions of women from his past. Alan and Jake have a road trip to Sacramento to pick up a valuable antique grandfather clock left to Alan by Judith's recently deceased grandfather. While riding home in the car, the clock falls out the back of Alan's station wagon and smashes into pieces, making his and Jake's trip futile. ZZ Top guest star as themselves. Quotations from Russell, Charlie's pharmacist, describing the effects of Viagra taken with a muscle relaxant. This might be my favorite episode of this entire season. I really, really love this. You may want to eat something so when you throw up tonight, it's not just going to be alcohol and stomach juice. Way ahead of you. I call it an Egg McBourbon. I really love Alan commenting to Charlie about Judith's dead grandfather. He's like, says something on the phone, then, says something off to Charlie's. Yeah. I guess your grandmother does have more important things to box up now. Like her grandfather. You're right, not funny. She never got my sense of humor. One day I told him, that is one heck of a clock you've got there. He had bad hearing, so that led to the Korea stories. What are you watching on TV? An amazing breakthrough in cat cramp technology. You know, Uncle Charlie, I really am sorry about you and Chelsea. Thanks, buddy. Her boobs are real, right? Yeah. Outstanding. Love me some Russell. Look at you, following the letter and spirit of the law. You know, you've become a really good driver. Grand Theft Auto, Dad. It's like driver's ed, but with pimps and hoes. Jake, I cannot believe you. Real driver's ed can have pimps and hoes if you do it right. Did you have plans at my age? Yeah, I had big plans. What happened to them? Just drive. My life isn't over, you know. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Well, then you must be like the Hulk. Yep, I got a prescription. I love California. And, you know, Berta about if she's going to take any of the pot. Not when I'm working. Yeah, okay, I'm done working. I've rolled better joints on the back of a motorcycle while digging a bullet out of my boyfriend's shoulder. I can't take another sleepless night remembering Chelsea. Yeah, boo-hoo, let's fire up this bad boy. Who steals clocks? Clocktomaniacs? You have your mother's sense of humor. His mother likes fart jokes? Look at us, a couple of nuts hanging out in Sacramento. Charlie and Berta High is hilarious. Pretzels! We don't need no stinking pretzels! And Charlie's so high and desperately lovelorn, not to mention paranoid, he imagines, you know, Chelsea, then Mia, Lydia, Evelyn, who is again wearing exactly the same thing as Lydia, like a dozen other of his exes show up and judge him for his relationship issues. And ZZ Top show up and just direct him, yeah. Go, Nats, go, Nats. Wow. We can watch TV anytime. Let's talk. Are you sure that hardly ever goes well? El pollo skino. That means the chicken skin in Spanish. And then Alan goes into the bathroom and screams. What are you doing? Screaming into a towel. They really did bring back a ton of sexes. I would never let him do me in the pew. Wow. And this time they did bring back the original Miss Pasternak. And transphobia, 4 jokes like that. And then you're wondering, is that really Rose or is he hallucinating again? Can you see Rose? Yeah, why? Can't you? You're imagining Berta. Are you really here? I don't know, am I? Call me, and then she jumps off the deck yet again. That's really, really funny, but that is, I mean, I hear that's one of the things that, like, you know, people start wondering, you know, am I really here, and what's really real, and stuff like that. That's, yeah. And, you know, Alan's like, when I buy the new one, you can have this one. No thanks. Wow. I guess he's banking on that college car that Evelyn promised. You think I can get a job at Domino's? A man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what is heaven for? I have no idea what you're talking about. Awesome shot of the clock being destroyed. My hat goes off to the guys who built that thing so it would look especially good being destroyed. Now can I drive? Wow. I mean, that's sometimes really underrated, because yeah, I mean, if, again, anyone who's watching this video, if you've got the episode on DVD, take another look at it. It is glorious. I mean, in real life, when things like that break, they don't necessarily break quite that spectacularly, but effort went into making sure. I mean, it's like in you know, movies that have practical effects, where they like design, you know, okay, this, you know, when this person dies, like their body explodes or falls, you know, or goes into 2 pieces because it was sliced with a sword or something, you know. I looked up on IMDb. Apparently, only 2 of the girls who are supposed to be his exes, I guess maybe the 2 trans individuals in this, have not been in earlier episodes. All the other ones are indeed exes from earlier episodes. Some of them, you know, fairly recent, like the, you know, Betsy, was that her name? Who he married whilst Chelsea, yeah. And I didn't, yeah, I'm just going to put this under this same time code. This DVD had 2 bonus features, excuse me, which I'm now going to go into. Now, not. Who's there? Bad joke. Yeah, first there's Charlie's X reunion, which is 9 minutes and 17 seconds. Then there's going to be the gag reel, 7 minutes and 34 seconds. Then I'm also briefly going to go into YouTube online gag reel, which is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, Charlie's X reunion. The many actresses they bring back in this episode, the second to last episode of this season, talk about what Charlie is like and what is going on with the episode. They talk about pickup lines, bad and good, the experience of working on the show, what it's like when there are so many girls in one episode on set, and they talk about if Charlie will ever settle down. And then the gag reel, yes. 7 minutes and 34 seconds. I already broke the condom. I am that powerful. And, you know, they bleep out all the swears. Charlie swears a lot in this one. And Berta actress Conchata Ferrell does swear some as well, not quite as much. And Jennifer Taylor, who plays Chelsea, has a really cute, out-of-character laugh. And, of course, this has a lot of people forgetting the line or mispronouncing something. And I've said this before, but John Cryer is really, really funny and charming when breaking character in these gag reels. And the YouTube online gag reel. This is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. At first I thought that these bloopers were all the same as the DVD ones, but not quite in the same order. Not quite all of them, because the last 30 seconds of this is just like advertisement stuff, and in the other one it really is 7 minutes and 34 seconds without, yeah. But the changing the order might be for purposes of keeping bots from flagging and taking off YouTube, something. And yeah, this goes for the gag reel on the DVD as well, but I put it here. Conchata Ferrell keeps getting the line wrong about what the grandkids are getting, and John Cryer keeps cracking up in the background. Eventually, she doesn't even get out grandkids, but looks like they. And finally, and I do love this title for a season finale. 1 second. This is not going to end well. And let's see. Jake is driving Charlie around when he runs a red light at Charlie's urging and pulled over by police, causing Jake to panic. He and Charlie switch seats so that it appears Charlie was driving, and as a result, Charlie loses his license due to several unpaid traffic violations and failure to show up in court, forcing him to rely on Jake to drive him around. And Alan goes to Chelsea's birthday party, and Charlie sends Jake in too so that he can give her a forgotten gift after being given the... See, again, I'm sorry, this is editorialized. I'm not going to read this. I'm gonna change. Yeah, you know, Chelsea is given the gift, and she briefly, at least briefly, leaves. She takes the dog for a walk, is basically the excuse. And then she finds Charlie being arrested for crashing into a police cruiser. And the title quotation is from Charlie after crashing into a police car while driving drunk and with a suspended license. Man, I love German cars. If you keep your nose clean and work hard, someday you'll be able to park them for a living. Excellent. And when the cop turns the lights on, clearly wants them to pull over. Should I run for it? See, Jake, that's why you should not learn about how to drive a car from Grand Theft Auto, because that's the kind of... You thought that might be the way to do it. You were so... Yeah, that you shouldn't even have said that out loud. You should have realized that was... Yeah. And now Jake has gotten a license. I'm glad they told us, because I was actually still assuming he didn't have it yet. And Jake almost blows the story. You know, I was in the passenger seat. You know, the first time Charlie's like, yes, since I was in the driver's seat, you were in the passenger seat. Only place you could be. Like, dude, try to be less obvious. And Jake just keeps going, and I was in the passenger seat. You were driving with a suspended license? Only for a couple of years. And also the thing of, like, you know, he threw out, like, summons. It's like, I thought they were for jury duty. I'm going to count to 3, Alan. That's mature. 3. Where was 1 and 2? And Alan goes through all the different times of the week he cannot drive Charlie. Sunday's usually good. Not this Sunday, though. I have a little thing. I know that. What does that have to do with this Sunday? And Alan keeps trying to talk Charlie into letting him go to Chelsea's birthday. That's why he takes all of this abuse in good humor. Alan, you need teeth to say pumpernickel. And somewhere around here, I only noted after watching the entire episode, Jake thinks cubic zirconia is called Cuba zirconia, and it's cheap because it comes from Cuba. Wow. Alan is so awkward around Tom and Ed. I guess the bottom got wet. You know that. Because that happens to everybody. Not because you're gay. Remember, looky no touchy. Wow. And Jake has used condoms for water balloon. And in this, we actually see him blow up a condom, which, I mean, there was definitely a time when you could not get away with actually showing a condom, an actual, and, you know, yeah, we know what they look like. That was clearly a condom. That was not like a water balloon that they pretended was a condom. You know, it might be like, it was probably bought especially for that, so, you know, it doesn't have like some kind of cream or powder inside, since that would really not be very comfortable for him, but that was definitely, it was a condom or something made to look exactly like a condom. Well, keep them around because you're not really breeding stock. And Jake is obsessed with the funny birthday cards. I can't help you if you're not going to work with me. Wow. And Jake thinks it's pronounced redundant. And Jake, you know, he keeps talking. This almost, maybe they should have had, like, you're just screwing with me, right? Because it's very reminiscent of the you're just screwing with me jokes from earlier seasons, where, you know, when Jake wanted Charlie to help him buy a present, and then he was like, and then they start talking about whether they would show up at his funeral. And so, yeah, Jake brings up, if you died tomorrow, how many of those girls would show up at your funeral? And there's at least one other, but yeah, he keeps talking about, you know, if he goes in, can I have a piece of cake? Should I tell her that you're outside? Are you crazy? It would be a way to get a second piece of cake, you know. And yeah, wow. And then, you know, he goes in there and is like, have we cut the cake? We haven't even sung happy birthday. And then he starts them singing happy birthday so that he can have cake soon. And he gives, you know, the gift to Chelsea and says, you know, it's from Uncle Charlie. And, I mean, that was, yeah, Charlie hadn't bought it for this. He bought it for, you know, months ago. He did buy it for her birthday, but he thought her birthday was months ago. It was like St. Patrick's Day instead. So, I mean, yeah, that's a pretty it's wild to get something like that from someone that you haven't been with for. I mean, at this point it's been several weeks, maybe at least a month, considering it's like one episode. You know, like a week passes between each episode, doesn't it, or something. Excuse me, I need to get some air. Wasn't me. I always claim them. You know that. Wow. He actually thought that was, yeah. And you know, earlier Jake said he changed Charlie's radio stations to good stuff, and he changed all of it to heavy metal. And then, you know, because he's parked right outside Chelsea's place, he sees her walking, and he's like, "Oh crap!" And he gets behind the wheel. And then, because he hasn't thought about if he was maybe going to need to make a quick getaway. So he didn't notice how close the nearest car was. He didn't notice if maybe it was a police car. So just, yeah. And, yeah, Charlie drove drunk with a suspended license, crashing into a police car right outside of Chelsea's place. So she walks up and sees him getting arrested. Yeah. Which, I mean, vomiting on a baby is one thing, but getting arrested for driving drunk with a suspended license into a police car, that's a bigger deal. And that's, I don't remember if there's still a thing, if she appears in the next season. So yeah, I'm very excited to find out. And if not, they had a good run. It was yeah. I really love this season. I really, this might be my favorite season so far, in part because of all the Chelsea and Charlie's. I mean, there was good Chelsea and Charlie stuff in season 6 as well, but having them, we have them together for a while. We have them, being happy together. We have them being unhappy together, but having them break up and then this sort of will they, won't they get back together thing. We've seen Charlie upset and missing the girl he loved before, such as with Mia, but yeah, it's just, and those were also great episodes, don't get me wrong, but, and I do really like what they did with Mia as well, but I do think it's stronger with Chelsea. There's just, they get through so many different issues that can happen between two people like this. I'm not going to just say between men and women, because they are sort of, Charlie is fairly, it's not many of us straight men who are quite that. I don't know why I said straight. It's not many people who are quite that, hashtag not all men. Sorry. That really is pathetic. I mean, who responds to like men being asked to treat women better with, well, not all of us treat women poorly. Just, yeah. Anyway, back to my notes. Another exterior scene, a very, very nice. They don't do a lot of them, but I really appreciate when this show does exterior scenes, because they're amazing. I don't think there's been a single bad exterior scene. An excellent short ending scene to the, I mean, I guess it's like, what's it called? I mean, Charlie's wearing like, I mean, if he was in prison, they wouldn't let him go home. Or is it like it's just like public, what's it, public service? I don't remember what it's called, but he's gonna go clean a public park or something, Yeah. And great finale, great season, 7 for 7. Yeah. I am really, really impressed that they keep such a high level, and just, I'm really psyched to see the stuff that I haven't watched already. But yeah, so I am, let's see, I'm not going to get into my plans for the next couple of videos, just in case something goes wrong and I end up having promised something I can't deliver. Let's see. Yeah, this is like half of what one of these videos usually. Maybe I need to try from now on, apply myself more to get more of these lines. It's just sometimes so fast, but yeah. And I guess there's not really anything else to get into. So, but yeah, so we've got, I think it's 12, so 4 seasons left, I guess. Yeah, seems like. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think that is everything that there was. So I hope you enjoyed watching, as I enjoyed watching and recording, and I will catch you next time.